Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are test driving a 2015 Mercedes-Benz S63 AMG Coupe. 2015 was technically the first year of the S63 Coupe. Before that, the big Mercedes two-doors had been called CLs or 560 SECs, this sort of thing. But when they came out with the 222 generation, they decided to call the coupe variant, which is the C217 chassis code, a coupe, so that, or excuse me, an S-Class. They called the coupe the S-Class so they could make S-Class sales look bigger. And so that's how they did that. In the United States market where I am, they made the interesting decision to make all of the V8 S-Class coupes all-wheel drive, including this S63. If you got the 12-cylinder S600 or S65 coupe, those were rear-wheel drive. And my understanding is in other parts of the world, you could get a rear-wheel drive S-Class coupe with a V8, but not in the United States. So, who cares? How does it drive? It drives amazing. The engine is so responsive and so fun and sounds great. It's not super loud or obtrusive, but it has a phenomenal growl to it. The 7-speed transmission, which Mercedes called the 7G Tronic, has been tuned by AMG for use in this car, and it's just snaps off the shifts. Let's see, I'm gonna push this button down here a couple of times and put it into manual mode, and you downshift, you downshift, you downshift. Oh, just feels fantastic. This is a relatively lightly optioned S63 coupe. It's missing a couple of things that you could have gotten that changed the way it drives. It doesn't have the carbon ceramic brakes, which is kind of neither here nor there. That's carbon ceramic brakes on a street car, to me, don't make a ton of sense. But this one doesn't have it, so who cares? And the other thing it doesn't have is the magic body control. The hydraulic suspension on this generation was called magic body control because along with the hydraulic suspension instead of the air suspension, the stereoscopic cameras would look forward and see a bump and kind of prime the suspension to deal with the bump to try to iron out the road for you, which is a pretty amazing piece of tech. But this car doesn't have it. It just has the air suspension, which again has been tuned by AMG for more performance-orientated use, and it is amazing. I've never driven one of these with the magic body control. I would love to, and I'm sure someday I will, and I'm sure I'll review it here, so subscribe and wait patiently for that. But even with this air suspension, you can feel when you're going through a curve quickly, the car compensating. You can feel it wanting to lean, but the suspension doesn't let it. And it's really cool. It is, you know, it's probably hard to demonstrate it on camera, and my speed is limited by the person towing the trailer in front of me, which is fine. I'm on a public road. I'm not trying to go nuts. But I was driving this thing around last night, and it's like through a freeway interchange, right? If you go fast through kind of a clover leaf or whatever, you can just feel the air suspension evening the car out. And I love that about this car. I love pretty much everything about this car. The only real complaints I have about it is, and this is in general, I didn't love the styling on this generation, and I still don't. Not that I don't think it looks good. It does look good. It just looks too similar to other Mercedes models. I actually own a W221 S65 AMG, and that was the previous generation of this, and in that one, the S65s, because it's an S, it's a four-door sedan. I prefer the styling on that generation because it looked, you would never mistake that model year S-Class for a C-Class from far away. With this one, you might. And I never liked that about it. But other than that, The interior is beautiful. The tech is great. The drive is amazing. Big AMG Mercedes are my favorite cars. I think they're just the best. And that's not, you know, I don't even really consider myself a Mercedes fanboy because I only really like the expensive ones. The less expensive they get, the less impressed I am. You know, you get down to a C-Class or a GLC or whatever, like, okay, those are fine, but to me, there's no compelling reason to choose that over a BMW or an Audi. I would never drive an Audi, but some people like them, and I can understand why. They're just not for me. But when it comes to, when you get up to an S-Class, yes, there are reasons why you would choose this over, you know, a 7 Series or an A8 or whatever. I just think that this is where Mercedes' heart and soul is, and this is what they focus on. So nice. It's so nice. Very nice. How much? You can buy one of these for about $50 these days. I was looking at Auto Trader, and that's a lot of car for the money. You know, the maintenance prospects are scary. This is a 10-year-old car at this point, but knock on wood. Wait, I have wood. Knock on wood. My S65 hasn't messed me up too bad when it comes to maintenance, and I've had it for about 2 years, but I don't drive it that much. I've only put about 10,000 miles on it in 2 years, so I don't know. One of the reasons you would choose an S-Class over a 7 Series is they're definitely better made than the BMWs. And you choose an S-Class over an A8 because Audi's just, once you get up to this level, Audi's just kind of an also-ran. An A8's a really nice car, and if I was going to drive an Audi, that would be the one that it would be, but it's not a Mercedes. It's not a Mercedes. And they don't make the coupe anymore. The new S-Class is sedan only, no more coupe, no more cabriolet. The cabriolet S-Class was unique to this generation. That was the first time they'd done that, as far as I can recall. And I can understand why they don't build the coupes anymore. This is a gorgeous car. It's an amazing car. I love it. And I think, you know, as a man who is now charging boldly into his 40s, I can understand why now. I never really got why people said, like, oh, you know, you buy a Corvette when you're having a midlife crisis, or, you know, that's a Porsche 911's a midlife crisis car. I kind of get it now, because what you're signaling to the ladies of the world is, hey, I ain't got no kids and I got a little bit of money, so what's up? You ready for some of this? But I don't know. I never really felt like I had to use my car to get ladies. And if you did, it's like, well, if a girl is gonna do you just because you drive whatever, just go get a prostitute. I mean, that's where you're at, you know. I'll be honest, my last girlfriend was way out of my league looks-wise, and there was a considerable age gap, and she was definitely the younger one, and she didn't give a crap about any of my cars. The only thing she ever asked was riding in my Crown Vic. I have a Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, and it's got the alley light, so it has the handles. She goes, what are these handles for? Other than that, she didn't care. So, you know, you don't need a car to get chicks, but I guess, I mean, you need a car to take them on a date. And it's good if, like, you need the air conditioner to work and you need it to not look like a piece of junk. This is a very boring test drive video because of the traffic, but, you know, this is the kind of car where you can really pick up speed so fast that I would end up, I'm okay with this. It's not as exciting as it could be for you as a viewer, and I apologize, but it's going to keep my driver's license valid because 577 horsepower, 7-speed automatic, all-wheel drive, From 0 to 100, this thing is amazing. And I mean, you'll end up doing a speed that starts with a 9 on the freeway, really without even trying or before you know it. You know, it's like, oh my God, I'm doing 92. What happened? I would say that this car feels faster from 0 to 100 than my S65 does. Oh, see, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. But from 100 up, the S65 is faster because it does have more horsepower, it does have more torque, and it doesn't have the parasitic drivetrain loss of the all-wheel drive. But, you know, that's kind of elementary, because unless you're on the German Autobahn or you're just being crazy, you can't really use this much performance. But this is why I like the AMG Mercedes, right? The big AMG Mercedes. It has a level of performance that's so high that it's not really practical to use it except in short bursts, but it's there if you want to. But it's okay because the cars are so comfortable and so nice that even if you're just doing the speed limit, it's still so nice. Such a nice place to be. So comfortable, so relaxing. A car with a 577 horsepower twin-turbo V8 that is relaxing to drive if you're not caning it is amazing. It's amazing. It really, truly is. I love this car. I'm gonna go film my full review on it right now, so I will put a link in the description if you want to watch that. And, you know, always drive safely. And thank you very much for watching. If you watched my whole video along with my weird tangents and everything else, I do appreciate you. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And have a great day. Bye-bye.